here today to remove some cosmoline off these awesome Mosin Nagant. So yeah,
we're gonna get this underway. We're gonna do the. We're gonna start with actually the simple green method, is what they're called for actually removing this cosmoline on the actual gun itself. We're gonna get started. We're gonna start taking the gun itself apart. First off, we're gonna pull the bolt out, and we'll get back to you and go from there. And here's an overview of the two Mosins, or Mosins, however you want to pronounce it. As you can see, here's your bolt. The bolt actually come out, just a quick release. We'll show you here momentarily.
And as always, for safety, you want to make sure the bolt is empty.
Open the chamber.
See, no magazine, nothing in the chamber.
And we'll check the secondary gun. First, you properly make
got
sure
the safety on.
You're gonna make sure the safety's off.
There we go.
Safety on is very good. And
yep,
clear chamber.
And we are clearing the magazine. All right. First up here, you want to do is these tabs around these rings here. You just want to push those in, and then slide out the rings. All right, we got those bands off with a little elbow grease, and then this top piece just pops right off. And be careful, that's kind of some thin wood. So you want to kind of be careful with that. Next part is the bolt. Like I said, you want to make sure you were clear, which we did. And then you just pull it back all the way, pull the trigger, slide right out. Simple as that. Alright, once that bolt is out, next is the magazine. Basically lift that up, and these two springs right here, just want to bring those together, slide right out. Okay, and then if you do have the original kit, it does come with something that looks like this. You can use this tip here as a flathead screwdriver, and then there's basically two that you want to remove here. You got one right here, and one back on this other side here by the bolt, about right there. Take those two out. Get this unscrewed here. Alright, take that screw out, make sure we don't lose it. Turn the gun over here. And we will unscrew this one. Alright, got the top screw out here. Now what you will note is that the screw that goes on the top here is longer than the screw that was on the bottom. So for reassembly purposes, keep that in mind. And then this whole bottom piece should come out here. Alright, got that taken out here. We'll just set that magazine aside. And then at the same time, your barrel is going to kind of come loose from your stock. Kind of see that here. And then you also, at this time, can take off these rings here. Alright, once you got that taken apart, the next step is you will see we still have the cleaning rod attached to the gun. That just simply unscrews, and then you just kind of pull that on out of there. Kind of set that aside as well. We got Mike over here working on the second gun here.
Getting it all stripped down, take down about the same part here. Overall, the stock's very impressed with. I mean, the condition they came in. However, I think we're going to end up putting a new finish on it. But here's the stock bought at Cabela's, the actual finish with the cosmoline on it. And as you'll see in the future videos, we'll actually have these torn down and brought to you brand new by yours truly. But no, actually, we're just very impressed with the overall condition of the actual weapon itself.
Alright, and as you will see, we now have the metal parts just sitting in some simple solution here. You can see, especially on this thing, all that cosmoline that's stuck on there. We'll go ahead and get that removed. Now we'll let that soak for quite a while, and then what we'll do is wipe everything down and then get it lubed up and reassembled. These bigger parts here, I think we're going to set these in a bathtub with some hot water. That works too. These kind of big to fit in a tub, so put these in the bathtub in hot water for a while, and then since they are metal, we're gonna have to make sure we dry them off really good. And then for the stock here, that'll be coming up here in a minute. We're gonna actually, since it's cold outside, we're kind of stuck with boiling some pots of water and using the steam to kind of melt off the cosmoline off the stock here, and then we'll just have to wipe it down. So we'll get to that here next. As you'll see, we have the barrels and the bolts and the cleaning rods sitting in hot water. We'll let this sit for a while and then kind of wipe it all down. Also got some water boiling here. Wait for that to get nice and hot. Alright, so we got some nice steam going. So what we'll do is just basically hold the stock over the steam here and let it get nice and warm, and then you'll start to notice the cosmoline kind of coming to the surface, and then you'll just simply wipe it off with a towel or paper towel, and then go from there. So, and then just keep doing this process until when you start wiping it, you notice you're not getting any more cosmoline. So it could take a while, depending on how much cosmoline is on your stock. But yeah. Somebody forgot to do the dishes, but you know, whatever. So yeah, we'll just hold it over here for a while and keep wiping it off until the paper towels are clean. So we actually have lukewarm water, pretty warm to the touch, but you can see the cosmoline is actually smoking, steaming off the stuff here. You kind of see it a little bit. Yeah, that's all that cosmoline coming off the barrel. As you can see, we got a little tired of holding these, so we kind of came up with a makeshift stand here. So this is taking longer than expected, just because there's a large amount of cosmoline deep in there, and it's just, you can kind of see where it's changing color, where it's coming off, but it's just taking forever. So we're just gonna kind of let these sit here for a while over this water and come back later after we drink some beer. Yeah, kind of like that. So, and it looks like we are definitely gonna have to refinish these once this is complete, because
just basically stripping the wood down to bare.
Stripping the wood. So we'll sand them both down and restain them, and then put some nice clear coat protecting over it. And this simple green for probably about an hour and a half or so. Now just taking out all the metal parts and wiping them down, getting them really clean. Notice they're polishing up pretty good. But yeah, they're shining up pretty good. You can kind of see as I'm wiping it off, there's a little bit cosmoline coming off. Most of it's actually soaked off, so that's definitely good. And like some of these like tight parts, you'll take a Q-tip, kind of easy to kind of rub it in there.
What are you soaking this in?
Simple green.
Just simple green?
Yeah, and you kind of see a little bit of that cosmoline coming off there. Just want to make sure you get it all off there and get it all removed, and should be looking pretty good. This is basically where we're at. Took the parts out, got them in this baggie so I don't lose them, but basically all the metal parts smaller metal parts that I've cleaned off. I took the bolt completely apart. You see there's still cosmoline on there, so we got that soaking in simple green. Same thing over here.
Basically, in essence, what we're going to have here, here's your actual firing pin. You can look on YouTube for further instructions on how to disassemble these, but as you can tell, this is still filled with cosmoline on the end.
Yes.
So I recommend if you're able to purchase a toolkit, or if it does come with it, I highly recommend using this because it makes it very, very, very simple to disassemble the actual firing pin and all the utensils that come with it.
Yep.
And this is going to be your slider. Correct me if I'm wrong, we're new to the gun industry, but this would be a slider if I remember correctly. It's coming fairly clean. However, we did do 4 total baths of hot water in these, and now we're soaking them in simple green. It's the safest way to go, from what I understand from all the viewers on YouTube. And here is actually the bolt. This is not the full bolt assembly, however, but it's coming very, very clean. I'm very impressed, as well as the spring here too, as you can tell. I mean, like I said, we did 4 baths of these, about 45 minutes a piece of hot water. And now we're going to soak it overnight with simple green.
Yep.
And on the actual barrel itself, did the same thing. We did 4 baths with these, and then wiped them down each bath with hot water, and then followed up with actually using
CLP.
CLP and just your typical lubricant, and then ran the rags.
Took a couple of rags through there, and they came out pretty dirty. So we're gonna let those soak for a little while, and then run a bunch through until she's nice and clean.
But as you can tell, I mean, it's looking great. All the cosmoline's off of this. We're not gonna have any problems in the near future with smelling cosmoline getting on our hands, cosmoline, excuse me, getting on our hands, or you know, for that matter. But like I said, it's gonna be sitting overnight. And if your kit comes with one of the actual oil or lubricant kits, be sure to let it sit overnight, because this is really plumb full of cosmoline. Make sure you take off the caps when you're actually cleaning this too, as well, as we learned. But I mean, for the most part, this look literally, as I dump it out, it's getting better and better as we go.
Yeah, you can see deep inside there. You can see the cosmoline. It's gonna be a little difficult to get out. That's why we're gonna let it sit for quite a while in there to kind of break that stuff apart. So, all right. So now we got the boiling done. There's still cosmoline on here, but it's kind of almost next to impossible to get it all off. So what I'm going to do is got this stripping gel. Get it anywhere. I got this at Home Depot, or also get it at Walmart. But basically what I'm going to do is put a little bit in here and just going to kind of paint it on with a paintbrush. And what that'll do is strip off this old finish here, and then hopefully also remove the cosmoline as well. So I'm going to get this brushed on here real quick. Alright, got it applied here. You can kind of see, got it kind of nice and thick on here. Just pretty much brush it on everywhere on all the wood parts here. So, just let it sit for about half an hour or so. So we'll come back and check it in about half an hour, see how it's doing. We can always apply more and keep it for longer. So we'll come back here in about half an hour.
Alright, here we are. This is Keith, the Mosin, working on the upper portion. It was a dark wood, however, it's coming to clean fairly well. Right now he's just using hot water method, and in conjunction with using Gugon. At this point in time, we were both trying different methods. He's been using the Gugon. He's also been using heat as well. On the other model that I have as well, I've been using the heat method. I've actually been using the heat method for, I want to say, about 14 hours, but we're on our next endeavor, shall I say. This is the second Sunday, but making progress. I'm going to go ahead and show you Keith's gun here. We saw from the previous pictures. It's actually starting to get the dull finish, getting a lot of that cosmoline off, getting a lot of that lacquer finish off. But like I said, we've been at it for, I want to say, a good 10-15 hours, trying heat methods, trying simple green. We've done simple green on the actual metal parts. And then, however, we've used anything from Gugon to miscellaneous products. So it's called Dissolve It. They actually work fairly well, but I recommend using Gugon. Like I said, this is just experimental. Here's just an overview where we're at. He's probably got, I want to say, about 8-9 hours in his model. On my model, I want to say at this point in time, we got about 16 hours involved just in refinishing the stock. Started sanding it down, and when I started sanding it down, I still had like a varnish or a cosmoline coat left on it. So I went ahead and put, it's called a citrus stripping gel. It's a citrus strip that actually is like a natural process. But right now I've sanded it down to 440 grit, and it still wasn't coming off, so I went ahead and put some of that on there. And so I'm just going to let it sit for a few hours and see how it turns out. But you're actually starting to see the texture and the grain in the gun itself, which is coming out, but it just takes a lot of time with these. And it's trying to get some of the imperfections out, but we're on our way. He's still going. His actually lighter stock is looking pretty darn good. I cannot complain. This is like, once again, this is a hobby, so when you got spare time, it's just something to do.
Alright, just doing an update of kind of where I'm at now. Kind of done using this. Had a couple coats on there. wiped it down with a paper towel, and then I put another coat on there and actually scrubbed it with the brush for a while, and then took it over here, sprayed it with that goof off, and then just scrubbed it real good, and then wiped it all down with the towel. And this is kind of where I'm at, starting to get a lot of that finish off. Just kind of wanting to get down to the bare wood, so still got a little ways to go. So I'll probably spray it with some of that go off a little bit more and keep scrubbing, and then hopefully a couple more times and it should be all to the bare wood. Alright, so this is kind of where we're at right now. Got most of it removed. As you kind of see, there's a lot more natural wood now. Flip it over, you kind of see. Switching that light, yeah, see, it's getting pretty close. And actually, this part right here is pretty much done. As you can see, it's all bare wood. So that was pretty easy. So gonna let this dry for a little bit, and then what I'm gonna do is heat it up and kind of wipe it down some more, just to make sure that there's no more cosmoline in there. And then I might try sanding it down, trying to get the rest of this finish off, old finish off here, and then getting the new stuff put on. So. Alright, this is where I'm at right now. Finally got all the old finish and stain off of there. Then what I did next is I sanded it down with some very light sandpaper. I think I started with 220 and then just went over it with actually 200 grain. So got it nice and smooth. Got all that old finish off there. So gonna wiped it down with mineral spirits. Just so to get all the loose wood dust off of there. So, and now I'm just going to let it dry overnight, and then that way I'll be able to go ahead and stain it tomorrow, and getting pretty close to being done. So this is what she looks like stripped down the bare wood. Alright, so I just put on the first coat of stain. As you'll see, I'm just using Minwax Gunstock 231 as the color of stain. Went ahead and applied that on there, let it sit on there for about 15 minutes, and then I wiped it all off, and it's been drying, so it's definitely looking like a good color. This piece came out a little bit lighter, but that was expected because it was a lighter piece to begin with. So what I'm going to do is let this continue to dry, and then tomorrow I will put on one more coat. Probably won't let it sit quite as long, maybe like 5-10 minutes max. Wipe that off and let it dry for 24 hours, and then I will put on this urethane clear semi-gloss. It's for outdoor, indoor, but got this over the other stuff because it helps with temperature changes. So when you're firing your gun, Alright, I just applied the second coat of stain. As you can see, it's nice and wet. So I'm going to let this sit for probably about 10 minutes and then wipe it all down and let it sit to dry overnight again, and then I'll start putting on the final finish. Alright, finally got this Mosin complete. Got all the stain, and I did 2 coats of the polyurethane clear coat semi-gloss. So came out great. I mean, I have no complaints about it. It is just awesome. I mean, it's smooth. It's a little bit darker finish, but I mean, I think the darker finish looks good. Everything went back together very well. You can either search other YouTube videos on how to put it back together, or kind of just reverse what we did. Taking it apart is very simple. It's one of the simplest guns I've seen to put together. So the only thing you have to be careful and watch on is the bolt. You have to put that together just right, or else if your firing pin doesn't sit in there just right, it's either not going to hit the primer or it's going to hit it too far and could cause some trouble. So There's some YouTube videos out there on to properly do it, but it's pretty simple. So just look that up. I might do one here pretty soon on that as well. But so yeah, this is finished product. Finally, all that cosmoline is off of everything, and it is moving pretty great. So I'm looking forward to going to shoot this pretty soon. Kind of do a report on that, how it turns out. The only bad thing is I do have that corrosive ammo, so I'm gonna have to clean it every time right afterwards. But I mean, who doesn't? So so overall, looks pretty good. I think I'll do some follow-up videos on how to do the bolt and everything to be safe. But yeah, if you have any questions on it or anything, just let me know. This is pre-Mosin Nagant cosmoline removal. We got Mike over here trying to set up the GoPro.
Right.
As you can see on the phone. Say hello, GoPro.
Hello, GoPro.
We got you know, multiple computers for YouTube instructions, and then we will also be creating our own on the awesome guns. Still trying to set up the GoPro here. Looks like a good view.
I say we're ready to rock and roll.
Well, let's go.
What do you think?
Alright, we gotta take a little bit of a break here. It appears my co-host had to go take a poop and find a flathead screwdriver. We were a little unprepared here, so what we're gonna do is take a little break, enjoy a little bit of you know, Heineken, and then get back to it.
Once that guy is loose, let's kind of work it up the shaft here. Easier said than done, sometimes we all understand. Let's kind of work it up the shaft here. Easier said than done, sometimes we all understand.
Alright, as you see, we have the kind of bigger parts and the bolts.
A lot of people don't for some reason. I mean, I'm not going to use it to clean the whole gun, but it's a little bit safer to use. It's organic. People told me you can actually drink Simple Green. Don't know if I would try that, but apparently it's possible. So just shooting a little Simple Green down in here and getting it ready.
Is it recording?
Should be.
Alright, we're going to get this underway. We're doing the, hey, what's the correct pronunciation for this, Keith?
Mosin Nagant.
Okay, we're going to do the Mosin Nagant, as you can see right before you. Take you a quick overview.
We gotta introduce ourselves on this camera first. Too.
Are you on the recording on both of them?
Yeah, that one we were just cute.
Okay.
I thought we were doing it both. Yeah, because we gotta edit it both.
Okay, well, once again, good.
Alright, we gotta get in film here.
Alright.
Alright, we're here today to remove some cosmoline off these awesome Mosin Nagant. So yeah. Saying all that cosmoline that's stuck on there. Go ahead and get that removed. What's that, alcoholic?
I said do not mix alcohol in firearms. That is number one, do not.
This process could take a little while. So what I recommend doing is grabbing one of these in case you get a little thirsty. Oh look, there's another one. So yeah.
Call it a night, call it a wraps. But like I said, this is the whole setup we have down here, of course. Very instructional YouTube. That's why we're doing this as well. Just search YouTube if you can't figure anything on our page. There's plenty more about it. However, this is Rock Chalk Jayhawk and TKO signing off.
Peace out.